Esteemed SICHL GMs, welcome. It's been a long time since I did a video power rankings solo. I think about 6 years. I was in my apartment on View or Yates Street, I think Yates. A lot has changed since then. I've grown a beard. It didn't take me 6 years to do that. I also got to remember to look in the camera focus instead of looking at my notes here. But I've moved 3 different times. I've gotten engaged. I made the SICHL finals twice, I think, since then. And then the team has had, well, let's say some ups and downs since then. But really, really thrilled to finally be doing this again. And of course, what comes along with the video power rankings is your own words from our other SICHL GMs other than myself. You're going to get to have your say, or at least you would have if you sent me notes. Sadly, we didn't get notes from everybody, but I did get a good portion of the GMs writing in to say how their team is doing. So we're going to be dividing up the videos, teams 29 to 21, and then 20 to 11, and then the top 10 in that regard. Hopefully Mike is up to the task. I think we'll be okay, but we'll record it and see how it went. Just a couple of notes. These rankings don't specifically include today's rankings. I wanted to get a jump on things, so they won't include today's games. We had some really good ones. We saw the Aces and the Riders meeting a clash of the Titans with the Aces coming out ahead in a shootout 4-3, and then a real close one between Acadia and Dublin 2-1. So the Shamrocks still trying to find their chemistry with their new players, but onwards and upwards to the rankings. So we're going to start, and of course with the video rankings, in case you guys don't remember or know, we go reverse. So on the rankings, on the written rankings, you will see 1 to 29, and I'm going to post those very, very shortly. In fact, those will probably be up before the videos are. But we're going to go in reverse order. We're going to go from 29th up that way, the best of the rest, and then the actual best teams. So here we go. All right, at number 29, we have the Vancouver Island Norsemen. Very strange to see them so low on the rankings, unless you haven't been paying attention this season. And if that's the case, I really got to start looking at the camera. Sorry guys, my camera is on top of my monitor, which I actually have like a TV, so it's gonna look a little off. So forgive me for that, but I hope you still enjoy the rankings. Anyway, number 29 is the Vancouver Island Norsemen, who have gone 0-9-1 in their last 10. Their level of futility cannot be matched, even by me. What's shocking is he's gone 0-9-1. I've gone 5-5 in my last 10, and I'm still only ahead of him by 1 point. So some pretty astonishing crap. Matt, what are Matt's comments? What did Matt have to say about his own team? Well, Matt said, and of course I have my notes ready, here we go. Matt said, I would like my response to simply be a gif from the A-team. I love it when a plan comes together. So in Matt's case, I don't think they'd be described as the A-team. They'd probably be described as the Z-team. They're pretty much the last team anyone could possibly think of calling. But it's good that Matt is optimistic. I don't have a cigar. That's more Jeff's style, but his plan is coming together, so that's good for them. At number 28, we have the Boston Colonials, and Gary had this to say. The Colonials are actually doing better than I would have thought, given this ragtag group of scrubs. We are a team in the early stages of a rebuild, which consists of a mix of vets and rookies, but are backed by a pretty good starting goalie in Pavel Frank. Oh man, you know what? Okay, here's another note. I'm gonna butcher some players' names. Thankfully, only 9 people are gonna watch these videos, so I'm not gonna get in too much trouble. But what I should have done is done some actual research. A pretty good starting goalie in Pavel Francouz, who has 9 wins so far, which is, I agree with Gary, that is pretty good. GHA journeyman Cole Schneider is having a career year, leading our team with 22 points. And I did make a note on the rankings. Does anyone know who Cole Schneider is and why they have 14 goals this year? It's pretty amazing. On most teams, he is buried in the minors. Sometimes an opportunity helps. It's a good point, Gary. We have been hammered by the old injury bug this year, losing a number of our better players. Looks like we are headed for a top 10 draft slot for 2021, and that is perfectly okay by me. Biggest non-surprise for me is our league worst penalty kill. We have many defensemen in the pipeline, but this group of defenders won't win any championships. The only complaint right now is having to watch those Monarchs win for the next few years and have to see them ahead of us in the standings. But alas, that will change. It will. Thank you, Gary. Very, very good write-up. Nothing else to say. Number 27, we have the Seattle Grunge. Seattle has won 3 games in the past 2 weeks. Brady Tkachuk's having a great year. But what does Phil have to say? Phil says this: the season is going pretty much as expected. No offense, lousy defense, and all the goalies like the color red, as in red lights, as in the goal light behind them, as in the team scores a lot of goals against them. Yeah, that makes sense for Seattle. They're pretty much right where they want, should, and were expected to be. Number 26, we have the Hamilton Steelhawks. I said that Hamilton is basically Rudy this week, ending the Riders' temporary reign of terror with a win. It snapped their 11-game win streak. Pretty astonishing. I'd like to see the line on whoever bet that. Chris F. from Hamilton says, it is what it is. Trust the process. That's it. Yeah, nothing much else there to be said. Okay, number 25 and 24, we didn't get any responses, but the Metros are in 25, Chris Baker's team, and then Bryce's Vipers have gone 1 and 5. Oh, what did I do? I clicked on something and I shouldn't have. Oh no. Okay. If the rankings look weird, it's because I clicked something. This is a big mistake. This is why I need an editor. Okay, I think that should work out okay. Anyway, yeah, Bryce and Chris didn't have much to say, which is great because I don't have much to say about the Metros or the Vipers. They're kind of going through some tough times right now. What's frustrating, being in that range is they're not bad enough to like lose every game. But they're also not good enough to win every game, but they're kind of in the middle there. They do win some games, which is kind of exciting if you're a GM of a team that's doing better. No easy matchups. So we've seen anybody can beat anybody. Hamburgers have somehow beat the Aces twice, and the Golden Bears, or force of habit, the Grizzly Bears. There we go. It's kind of can't even come out of my mouth correctly. So yeah, you never know. Number 23, we have, oh, there we go. That was the mistake I made. I put am I ahead of Edmonton? No, let's put Edmonton ahead of me. I mean, I'm doing better, but let's be real here. Okay, at number 23, and we just got to skip that. Number 23 is the Hamburg Gladiators. That's my team. We didn't need to talk about my team. My team is not very good. But let's talk about number 22. That's the Edmonton Supersonics. Here's what Mike, GM of the Edmonton Supersonics, had to say. I think the Sonics are underperforming a bit. I agree. We weren't a contender this year, but we always expect to make the playoffs, and while we're still in the range, we're a bit behind where we expected to be. Lots of injuries have been a contributing factor, and that's going to be a common theme with these write-ups. We are in talks with multiple teams about trading Captain Blake Wheeler. My goodness. Okay, well there's a headline for all those watching, who will no doubt be an impactful player for any team in a Continental Cup run. I agree. So if any of you get anything out of these power rankings, maybe find out if you can snag old Blake Wheeler from Mike's team, the Supersonics. They will be a very good player in the playoffs. So that was number 22, and this will end this video on 21, the Brno Barons. Didn't hear back from Bob, so not much else to say, except maybe, Saros not getting a vote for the All-Star game, which has sort of been a running theme the last couple of years. But how about rookie goaltender Ilya Samsonov? The fact that he has a 2.31 goals against average and a .927 save percentage, I guess I could just say 927 save percentage, is pretty amazing, particularly on a team like a Barons. Do I smell a starting goalie controversy? Maybe he'll use Saros as a trading pawn, or trading piece rather, for something down the road. But something's cooking in Brno for sure. I know a lot of us would love to have a goalie with those kinds of stats. All right, well, that is the end of this video, the first video of the power rankings for weeks 11 and 12. I think we're on weeks 11 and 12. Let me check. Yep, weeks 11 and 12. Next up, we'll be looking at teams number 20 to 11, and I hope to see you there.